wonder, can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Can anybody hear me? Nobody's in the chat. Nobody's in the chat. Oof. It is hot to times. Can anybody hear me? Lord, I don't even know if this thing is on. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Ooh, okay. Hello, hi. What's Radiation Wizard, and gratitude, Catherine. Love you so much. Can't wait to get to the promised land. Oh yes, let me tell you what's going on. Shut up. Okay. Oh, now what happened was that, did you see that announcement? Okay. Shout out to Brian Brenner. He comes on and he always says, Catherine, I really look forward to your videos. Can you guys hear me? Oh, Tasha Thompson. Yes, thank you. You're from Texas. Tasha Thompson is from Texas. Can you guys hear me? Yes. Okay, good. Yes. Okay. Tasha Thompson is from Texas. And thank you, Tasha. You said something so wonderful. You said that you were going to go ahead and represent Texas. And really, I need, because they announced it on NBC News here.
I'm Alex Padilla, and I approve this message. Every day I go
to
work,
Alex.
I think about my immigrant parents.
That's Alex Padilla.
My dad was a short order cook. My
that's
mom
Alex Padilla,
houses.
the one.
They raised 3 kids.
Well, it's a commercial. Forget about him. But listen, that's the one that goes to school and promotes that boom boom. Anyway, listen. NBC had announced that they were going to look at the proposal for reparations. And I had complained about, on national TV that it's too difficult to apply for your proposal because you got 150 pages making it difficult, right? But the governor it's very simple. He has a really simple plan that I had just filled out. I filled out and I completed it. So it's the governor, Gavin Newsom. Here. Now, NBC said that we're going to wait on Gavin. We're going to wait on Gavin for the reparations. So basically, they're waiting on me because they don't know what to do. So they're waiting on me. I had already filled out it was a real easy proposal that I filled out on Gavin Newsom's website. So he has that today. And I would be the head chief deputy of Reparation Task Force, the head chief of energy resources and conservation with a development community, and then emergency resources. I'll be the head chief of that. If they go ahead and accept my proposal, and it's a really easy proposal that I just filled out. It's on his website. Anybody can do it. You can pick out what you want to, bid for or whatever. But mine is about Reparation Task Force. I'm the one that will be announcing the reparations about, what we were talking about. That every single. Now look at this. NBC had. I didn't know that they had this because Brian said, Kathy, they announced they were going to, look at reparations, but they're going to do more than that because right here, when they ask for your information, they want everything. They want your social security number, your address, everything. And then they say, we will be looking into your personal history, your personal, situation of what happened to you through your social security number. And I'm so glad they said that, because please look deep into the past, because when you see this, you will see that I was in homeless shelters with my children. You will find that in my Social Security. You'll see that I was in different homeless shelters. You'll see it. So the further you dig in my past, the blacker it's going to get for you people, for the government, because they're going to stand as bona fide criminals. Because I wasn't never supposed to be homeless with my 4 children when I'm indigenous to my own land. And when you see the comments right here,
reparations is substantiating the claim for reparations for the African American or American freedmen community on the municipal, state, and federal level.
On Wednesday afternoon, the state government releasing the report of a task force formed by the state legislature to study the history of slavery, the state's sponsorship of it, and its costs on Californians today.
We made this historic decision to affirm what we call lineage-based eligibility. So what that means is the community of eligibility will comprise of African Americans, descendants of free and enslaved Black people who were living in the United States prior to 1900.
The group proposing that the state...
Okay, now that's good that she said that, because remember before they weren't talking about who are the descendants of slaves that live here in America prior to 1900. See, that's good that she said that, because she's supposed to say that. She's talking about indigenous people that were already here prior to them coming over here. So prior to the Moors coming over here, prior to the Chinese and the $5 Indians coming over here, prior to anybody coming over here, we're suffering because of them coming over here, where Malcolm X said that the rock landed on us, and it did. The rock landed on us. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, it's not enslaved people prior to, let's see, enslaved and not enslaved people prior to, yeah. So prior to 1900s. Okay, so like when we were here, we were already here. Now, we would have to get these reparations because this is our land. And I see on the comments where white people are saying, well, I don't see any Black person who is a slave today in California. Here is how we are enslaved. For the simple fact is that when you came, or when your forefathers came over here, you guys forced us to use your money, right? So when you forced us to use your money, now we're forced to pay for food and water that's already ours. It's an abomination to you for you to continue to think that it's normal for the indigenous people to pay for food, water, medical expenses, and then on top of that, the water is poison. See, we have to get somewhere away from you people so we can live normally. That's what reparations really means, is that we have to get away from our enemy that is constantly murdering us and coming up with excuses of how everything is fine when it's not, when we're all dying. Nothing is fine when we're still dying. Nothing is fine when we don't own nothing and we can't control you from getting away from us. Ain't nothing fine. If we can't control you from getting away from us, shit, ain't nothing fine. You have to get away from us. So we have to get to a place where it's segregated away from the enemy that have been at war with us since you people came here. That's what reparations really mean. So Gavin Newsom he has this website that makes it real simple for anybody to really fill out. I filled it out, and you have to sign it and then email it back to him or fax it back to him, which I did that. So I faxed it. Debt and paying is it's like right. That's what I'm saying. Now Tasha Thompson is saying that when you're in debt and you're paying for food and water, that's slavery. And when you hear white people on this comment saying, well, I don't know anybody that's enslaved that's in California or anywhere, it's like, well, you just ignorant and just dumb as a motherfucker, because how is it that you can see a Black man getting shot by the police and he's indigenous? Why is this white man shooting this Black man? Why? Because the cop knows that we're indigenous and he hates it. He hates the sight of us. He hates us. The white police officer can't stand Black people, indigenous people, whatever, because they know that we're indigenous. Okay, that's why we need reparations to get away from you people. We're trying to get somewhere where we can be safe away from the criminals. See, we're just trying to get somewhere safe. That's all. We just want to live in peace. Let me see. When did that start? 400 years ago. We just been wanting to live in peace for 400 years. That's all. So, so, so this is what I applied for. I applied to be the head deputy director of Reparations Task Force, energy, energy resources. Oh, transportation. Here it is. Transportation chief deputy director of. Remember, we were talking about Dave Jones, where he's the chief director of transportation. Well, that would be me now. I would have to kind of take his place. You have to step aside, Dave Jones, because and then that Lisa Follin, whatever, she's holding the property of that airport. Well, guess what? They just announced that on my email that the bid is already done, so it's already closed. It's like, oh good, because I already bidded for it, so I know that property's mine. It can't be nobody else's because every state is waiting on Gavin Newsom to announce how the reparation will be delivered. So they're basically waiting on me. I already filled it out today. Okay, I filled out the application. So Gavin Newsom and his people must get in contact with me, and they will, because they're waiting for me anyway. Because why you single out California? How come you couldn't take Texas? Why you didn't announce it in Texas? Why you didn't announce it in Chicago? Why it got to be in California? Because we've been sending those poster magazines to every mayor, to everybody, to NBC, and NBC is the one that's saying, okay, we're going to wait on Gavin. You see how NBC is saying it, that we're going to wait on Gavin Newsom. Now they're waiting on Gavin. Okay, Gavin, we waiting on you. I already filled out this application. I don't want to show it because I have my address on here and my social security on here. And I'm so glad that they're doing it this way, because they're getting to the bottom of the problem. It's like, okay, here's the problem. You're ignoring us. You can't ignore us anymore. You have to hand over the resources in the most positive way possible. So what you do is you say, Catherine, we got this airport for you in Los Angeles. You will be owning the Southwest Airport as it is stated, because you bid it. I rightfully bid it. The problem with that bid is that when I communicated with Lisa, I said, these documents are too difficult for me to fill out, because it doesn't really, some of it don't even apply to me. So can you help me fill this out? And she never got back with me, because she was trying to not let me have the property. But the bitch don't realize, it's like, bitch, it's not your property. Okay, you're white and you don't own shit. Now, so she's just holding it, just so they can tell her to release it to me. That's all she's doing. She don't know it, but eventually it's gonna get down to her, because it's basically TikTok on all of them. Now, this one right here, I wanted you to see the rest of this on NBC. Now, NBC is waiting on Gavin to answer to me. They're waiting on him. They're gonna listen. The reparations that we're talking about, it has to be copied on every state.
Now offer reparations for direct descendants of slaves now living in California, but also, for instance, individuals outside of California whose ancestors were harmed by the state's policies.
Yes.
In 1852, the report says there were approximately 1,500 enslaved African Americans in California. The task force is also recommending restitution for Black individuals whose ancestors were forced by the government out of their homes for government projects.
Yes.
Like highway.
Look at that dress. Remember the old style dresses I was telling you about? We made those dresses. We made those are our dresses. Okay, now listen. Did you hear what he just said? Now, they're saying they're gonna cover the whole basis of what I was saying, that they have to look into what we were talking about. We are indigenous, and it is a crime for us to be subjected to their policies, what he just said.
Construction, but also for consequences reaped by generations of government complicit
You see that
racism.
beach? Did you see the beach? Did you see the ocean? Okay, they gave a beach, I think it was Manhattan Beach, to a whole family because they were in their right to get that property. They were removed from the beach in 1830s. Now they got that beach back. I know y'all heard it on the news. This happened about 2 years ago. They was awarded the beach right here on Manhattan. We would be awarded the Los Angeles airport to the beach because the beach is connected to. That's what we would be awarded to, because when I talk about I'm indigenous to California, we're talking about we're indigenous to America. This is what NBC News need to understand, that we are when we say we're indigenous, when I say I'm indigenous to California, I'm indigenous to every state because we were removed in the 13 colonies. In the 13 colonies where you guys ran up in on Florida, wherever you pushed us at, wherever you landed at, we were removed from. So we were removed coming down from California. When y'all came down in California, we was removed. We were removed coming up from Florida to Texas. Everybody was removed. So, so that means that my subscribers, well, I'm talking to my Patreon subscribers, the ones that's on my Patreon, Tasha Thompson, would have to, and everybody on my Patreon would have to come in with me to announce your state. Oh, it's wonderful, because when you announce your state, you're actually announcing your reparations that's going to be aligned with what we were saying. You know, everybody gets suggestions, but who gets suggestions is the question. It is the indigenous people who are saying that, yes, I'm indigenous. I don't have to have paperwork. I don't have to have paperwork because my last name says it. On my great grandparents, you'll see everybody's last name on this Daru list. You'll see your name on there. Just trust me. Not only that, but we have to go by the simple fact is that if you don't have your name on there, that's because your great great grandparents was murdered. They were murdered outright. So you don't have your people on there. You wouldn't, because you were murdered. So you don't have to come with paperwork. You just have to say what you are. I'm indigenous. I'm indigenous. I'm indigenous. My color is gingerbread. I'm not black. I'm gingerbread. I'm indigenous to wherever I live at. Where do I live? Well, wherever you live, you're indigenous to that state, and you're indigenous to every state, because we don't know where you from. They don't really know where we from. They just know that we're from America. They just know we from America because he just said it. We were removed. We were pushed. So if you were removed from every state, then that's why I say, wherever you live, you are indigenous to that. Right now, I live in California, so I'm indigenous to California. If I move back to my home town in Chicago, I'm indigenous to Chicago. So it's wherever you're at, you're indigenous to, and you're entitled to your resources. And how is it that you're entitled to it? That you can't pay for nothing. That's how. You just can't pay for nothing. Everything else applies to other people when it comes to paying money. We can't use their dollar. Do you understand? How are we going to use their dollar? And when it's their dollar? Dollar for what? What are we going to use their dollar for? Ooh, King Astro 777, thank you for your donation. Thank you so much. Now, how are we going to pay for, how are we going to accept their money? What are we going to accept their money for? Okay, well, I'm going to pay for the food that's already mine. No, that don't make no sense. No, we have to wear the badge. Our badge tells us that we are indigenous to wherever we're at, and that the food, resources, medicine, or whatever is free. Everything is free. Everything is free. Okay, so food, resources is free.
Involving health.
Housing is free. So what that means is, like, let's say a person is indigenous and they don't want to come to the promised land. Kathy, I don't want to come to the promised land. I just want a mansion. Good. Then with your badge that you're wearing, you will be able to go to any real estate agency in your neighborhood, and you'll be able to say, look, I want this mansion that's vacant. I want this. And then that agency have to have you to fill out the forms, 2 pages, okay? Because I will give them the pages for you to fill out. They have to know exactly what you coming for. When they see you, all they have to do is say, here's your 2 pages. Let me see your ID so I can make a copy of it, and then make a copy of it, and then that's it. Here's your keys. Just like that. It can't be difficult. It can't be difficult when you get your house. It has to be very quick, because they know that you're indigenous, you're gingerbread, and that you got the badge. And that's all. What else do they need? They don't need nothing else. And so when you fill out the form, 2 pages, they're gonna hand you the keys and the deed to that house that's vacant. And that's how reparations works. Now, when a person wants to get the Jetsons, they will be able to apply at the airport, Los Angeles airport. This concept will be in every single state. So when they come to pick up their Jetsons, they're going to apply the 2-page, they're going to fill out the 2 pages. We're going to know that they're indigenous because you gingerbread. Now, if you say that you're African American, damn, then if you're African American, that's difficult. Then you won't really qualify for the Jetsons because you're African American. We would have to build the promised land in Morocco where you're from. And that would have to be accommodated. We would have to accommodate you on that, especially in Israel. If you are a Hebrew Israelite and you know that you're from Israel, we would have to put the promised land in Israel, and we would set that up so that we can go back and forth. We would go back and forth from Morocco, Cyprus, Malta, Italy, all because that's Africa. That's where you guys are from. You guys are from Europe, North Africa. That's where you're from. Egypt, Cairo, Egypt. We will be able to put the promised land in Egypt because this is well, it's true. Yeah. So anyway, so we'll be able to do that. But yeah, but now with the theme park, everyone is welcome to come to the theme park because, well, it's a theme park and it's about children and we're taking care of the children and shit, we're taking care of ourselves because we want to have fun. So now when we talk about the theme parks, that is the public promised land where everybody can come to. There's hotels and all that. But behind the public promised land is the private promised land, and it's just for us. Because we really have to get somewhere, and behind those gates, it will be shut, okay? Because I can't really reveal what's about to bust open, but we have to get to the promised land, and behind these gates, I'll explain when we get behind the gates, okay? I'll explain that later, but we're gonna have to get to the promised land.
And educational discrimination.
We pay for what we want to. We pay for wars. We paid for redevelopment of communities. And I think that we're capable. The question is, do we have the will? Do we have the moral fiber?
This is the most extensive government commission report on
moral fiber. Boy, sit down, cool man. What the hell? Did you hear what he said? Do we have the willpower? Do we have the moral fiber? What the fuck? Sit down. Let me handle the willpower.
America's black population in more than 50 years, since President Lyndon Johnson's 1968 Kerner Commission. California Governor Gavin Newsom backed the creation of this California task force in 2020. The group will now spend the next year proposing the mechanisms in which reparations would be extended. In Wednesday's report, it already outlined the creation of a government office to help residents track their family lineage and file reparations claims.
What does the action of this report actually ultimately look like?
It said that they're gonna help. They're gonna help the people track their lineage. That is wonderful. That's a good thing. That's a good thing because now they can see. This is why they're making this. Let me tell you why NBC is on this because we've been sending the poster magazines and they're listening about damn time shit, and so. They listening because it's true. Hell, they're listening because they said that they're gonna help trace back and it's real easy. All you gotta do is just go on ancestry.com. It's linked to the Daru's. When you go to the Daru's, you will see. Just type in your last name, your grandmother's last name or your last name, and it will link you to your family. That's how I got all my information. So please just do that before they announce, before they get at me to say, okay, Catherine, we got it for you. Announce it, because they're going to have to help me announce this. They're going to have to help me announce the reparation. And my reparation is where, we get our Jetsons. And because we'll have a home and transportation that will end up where it can go in the sea and it can fly like a jet, because it's a jet. It's a jet first, but it's made out of an RV, 2022 RV motorhome coach. Now, my patent stated that my patent provision ends July the 9th. But I say to them, no, it doesn't end because it's my patent. And it's the Trade Commission's fault that put stipulations to where it ends. But if you pay for it, if you pay another $4,000, then it won't end. Well, that's a crime. You can't charge me extra money when I already paid for the patent. I needed to go into the manufacturing department. That's where the reparations should come in at. And I made that announcement. Well, I always make the announcement, but I put it in my proposal. It should be where if an indigenous person like myself has a patent, it should be automatically to where you guys would just help me form it. Well, because it's my resources and it's not yours. Mr. European man that came from across the seas with bubonic plague on your body and war on your mind, you done stole the resources. And now we have to basically claim back all of the mansions that you stole. Yeah. The vacant mansions that's already up for grabs, those are ours. It's vacant. Yes, it's ours. Even though we have to get our mansions and we have to get buildings like the airport. There's warehouses there where we can set up the film production studio and television station network right there at the airport, because we really don't need NBC like I thought. It's better just to have the airport because you can manufacture your Jetsons there. Oh, and the Hyatt Hotel is directly across the building. I was trying to tell Tasha Thompson this. I wanted everybody from my Patreon, patients from my Patreon, that we're going to be living across the street from the building that we're going to be working at. And I want it to be set up this way in Texas, in other states where everybody's going to be representing their state, to where let it be a 5-star hotel across the street from it so we can live there and work at the same time. We can live and work and develop our land right there. And there are hotels alongside the streets on Century. Type in 5600 Century Boulevard. This is where you're going to be reporting to pick up your Jetsons. Now, alongside there, you'll see hotels. We're going to have to own at least 4 of those. This is part of the reparations. We're going to have to, because these are resources, and there's going to be a lot of people coming in there picking up their Jetsons, and they want to stay in California off the beach. Beautiful area over there, gorgeous. Oh my God! So now that's where, because you can see the promised land just from that. Just think about that. From the beach, you'll be able to travel from California to Utah, going into Texas, because if Tasha Thompson, she's going to set up hers, we're going to go to her community. And from there, we're going to go from Patient's community, I think. And then there's another one who first donated to me. Her name is Toya. She's in Chicago. We would go from there to, and then Yeshua Pandera, and then Louisiana Tay. We would have to set up his promised land in coming out of Texas, going into Louisiana. So this is pretty big, and this is a good thing. This is pretty big. We're going to just go ahead and do this.
Staying up half the night searching for savings on your prescriptions? Just ask your CVS pharmacist. We search for savings for you, from coupons to lower cost options. Plus, earn up to $50 extra bucks rewards each year just for filling at CVS Pharmacy.
I think it's a great opportunity to set an example for the rest of the nation on what atonement looks like, but more importantly, what an apology and a reparations can look like.
The hope for the task force that the state government will lead the way in making good on the report's proposals.
Do you have faith, though, that those very lawmakers will take action and offer those reparations based off the findings?
Yep. Okay, so Buffalo, New York, and Lexington, Kentucky. Ooh, Kentucky too. I like to be in Tennessee and Kentucky, and I want to start in each state. We're going to have the promised land.
Absolutely. I have the absolute faith in the California state legislature to take this to the finish line, so to speak. Absolutely.
All right, Vaughn Hilliard is joining us now. So, Vaughn, this is the task force's initial report. What happens now?
Yeah, Tom, 1 year from now is when we will be revisiting this very conversation, because this task force has been assigned by the state legislature to figure out how to best offer these reparations, how the mechanics of this would actually work here. And that is very much the complicating part of all this. When we look at the federal level, Tom, the U.S. Congress, Democrats have introduced a proposal since 1989, every year since 1989, calling for a commission to look at reparations across the country. But even in this Democratic backed house here, that has never come.
Okay, stop. Let me just show you something. Do you see? I don't know if you can see it, but I'll leave a link. Watch the black lady. This is when we talk about reparations, when we talk about a crime committing against a person. Watch the black lady, how she's masked up, but yet she's drinking water through her mask. We're talking about the insanity that you left our people. Look at this black woman. She has a mask on her face and she's drinking water through her mask. This is how you got these people thinking that they have to abide by what the fuck you say. You don't lost your mind. Why is it that these people are not masked up, but she is? Because she's brainwashed and you have her. This is why we have to get away from you people. Because you got her insane out of her mind. And you got her sitting up on this panel looking like a damn ass. And she's the one that's announcing, trying to help with the reparations. How you gonna have reparations and you masked up with the mask on back in 1800s, where they had us with like masks on in the 1800s, and you still doing this shit, listening to them, and then there's somebody next to you that's not masked up. Just tell me, like what makes, you know what I'm saying? Reparation also has to do with, we have to be segregated from the ones that basically harmed us mentally, to where you got this woman who, if she probably goes in her car and when she get in her car, she's masked up with the windows rolled up, because you people said that there is some sort of virus. If it was, then come on. Like, this is why I'm saying, I'm not going to get into it with all this mass shit, but what I'm trying to tell you is this. You have black people that are insane based on your 400-year policy, in which you have us thinking that this is a normal way of living, when it's really a medieval type of a lifestyle that you brung upon us. You literally brung over the medieval actions and or whatever you want to call it. Like you have policies that would consist of where we're back in the past of where you guys come from in the medieval times, in the 1300s. I mean, just look at it. Just look at what you've done. It's so much that it's so deep that you got people insane. You got them just out their fucking mind. Just look at her. Look at what she look.
House floor vote. Now there are some justice groups that have called the president Biden just last month to.
Did you see that? I'm gonna leave a link so you can see her. There's many different black women like her that I see outside, where they masked up and they drinking water through their mask. But yet they can see another person with no mask or nothing. Okay, now why is she like that? Because she works in your office and you tell her to mask up. See, if it wasn't for you telling her that, she would never be masked up. For what? What's she gonna be masked up for? There's no virus, you know that. Okay, see, that's why we got to get away, because it's something wrong. You know, it's always been something wrong with you people. Because you have us mentally insane, you really do. And that's just a small, tiny portion of it. I'm talking, I mean, we can go deep as far as basketball. That's insane too. You know, you're going back and forth with this ball. I'm not gonna get into that. Okay, so let's just move on.
Issue an executive order, which would call for a commission on reparations.
I'm sorry, it's just insane things that the Europeans is forcing us to do, and we're just looking insane while we are being enslaved, is what I'm trying to tell you. What I'm saying is that you have us doing ridiculous things for money, and it's not our money, it's not our resources, but yet you have us groveling over it as if it's the true shit, as if we're supposed to have this shit, when when we supposed to have this money when it's actually our resources. So see, this is why I say like we're insane. We're like insane. People actually sacrifice their children to be movie stars for money. For money when they can when this is their resources anyway. So if this is all your resources, honey, what you doing, cookies?
So, try stuff down. See, it makes this.
Oh, you got in your pamper, mommy. Never mind. Go back. Never mind. Okay, come on. Okay, come on. Sorry, she wants to come. She wants to say hi. Say hi. This is Isis. Isis, say hi, Isis. Hi, Isis. Hi, Isis. Mighty Isis. Hi, Isis. Mighty Isis. Mighty Isis. But anyway, yeah. So I'm just saying. Okay, so money. Sorry, I have to. My daughter has to. Okay, hold on. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so anyway, oh yes, yeah, my little mighty Isis. Okay, so
He is yet to do so as well, and that is why there's so many eyes looking at what California ultimately does here in the year ahead.
okay, so it's looking to what?
Thanks for watching our YouTube.
So they're trying to see what what they're gonna do.
They're
But-
not.
But native is a mineral sun.
What the hell?
Rise and shine. No, the sun! Just kidding. I'm wearing native.
Get ready to turn everything you know about sun care upside down.
It's native, simple, clean, mineral sunscreen for your face and your body. Before native, sunscreen was a pain in the neck. It can be so greasy, stinky,
Why
and
is it? Why your black ass? And you ain't supposed to be wearing no sunscreen. That's so
so
fake.
even is that? Are these even Hawaii compliant?
They're not.
But native is a mineral sunscreen with hand-selected.
She a vampire, y'all. It's a commercial. See, they tell oh, y'all telling the truth.
Zinc oxide, broad spectrum SPF 30 protection, and clean ingredients that won't annihilate my sensitive skin. Most mineral sunscreens take centuries to apply. I would know. I'm 934 years old. And they can be hard to fully rub in, leaving you looking ghoulish.
She said she was 930 years old. See. Okay, well, yeah, let's move on from the vampires here. Okay, let's just move on. Okay, let's just moving on. Oh my gosh, that vampires in our midst. Okay.
You know, when I was younger, I was a little kid. My grandma, Nanny used to always tell me, everybody's somebody. No matter where you at in life, no matter what's in your bank account, no matter your living conditions, you're still somebody. And if you can hold on to that, you know, when you're going through whatever you're going, just that belief and understanding that you're somebody, because everybody's somebody. You know, it ain't about being a star, being an athlete. It's about you somebody, whether you're that or not. You know, and you just gotta hold on to that. Know that you're special. Know that you're somebody. Know that things are gonna come your way. You just gotta stay down, believe in yourself all the way through it. It's like I know when I was
you guys hear
I knew I was somebody. Knowing that even time these people come in and myself, strip surgery, whatever, I still knew that I was somebody. I knew that I was a king of, of all that I was going through. I knew it. I just knew it. And that's why you gotta believe in yourself. That adversity will position you. If you just hold on and believe. Everybody's somebody.
Everybody's somebody. Everybody's somebody. You know, it's true. Let's see what this is. This is slow.
If you're a hustler, hustle then. If you're a hustler.
Okay, now that he was hitting on some good points. This man be hitting on some good points here.
Stop it. We gotta start letting good stuff happen to us.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
Stop it. We got to start letting good stuff happen to us. We got to start embracing stuff. The way we always looking for something wrong, we got to look for something right in every situation. We got to start really embracing something. If somebody hooks us up with a connect, or something that's going to better our business, better what we got going on, embrace that. Stop looking and thinking, oh, they got to hit the agenda, they want something from you, or this, that, third. If somebody is treating us right, is respecting us, showing love, just embrace that. Don't look for something like, oh, this can't be right. Why this happening? This, that. Listen, we got to stop being paralyzed based off the shit that went wrong yesterday. I'm talking about people is paralyzed. You got people that still stuck in heartbreak, disappointment for friendships from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They still running around paralyzed. So many new people, new ideas, new opportunities came in their life, but they couldn't be receptive to them. They couldn't enjoy them opportunities. They couldn't grow from them opportunities because of the shit that happened 10 years ago. When there's good people coming into your life and they show you love, they bring you resources, respect and hold on to that. It's just life.
Okay, so, okay, now here's another one I wanted to show too. Where is, did I miss that? I wanted to show this, it was Dane Calloway. He had showed another one on a video about reparations. I don't know what happened to it. Okay, let me see. I don't know if you guys, can you guys hear me? Can you guys still hear? I'm gonna get off this video. I know it's kind of late. Oh, it's only 8 o'clock over here. Okay. I'm just trying to get this. I want you to see. Okay, so the point about the reparation thing is that, hold on. Where the heck did it go? Oh. I just saw it. It was the Dane Calloway on there. Okay, anyway, I don't know why it's not on there now. Okay, but about reparations regardless, because it's time. Oh, here it is. No, that's not it. Okay, so because it's time for us to get what's ours. We got to get away from these people. I'm telling you. Oh, here it is. Right. See, the Native Americans. The Native Americans were not.
I feel like it looked really
Were
hot.
never indigenous. Okay.
Turn it up. Look, 100 years after 100 years, they done lied to us about this and that.
They all got names like that they make up for themselves. Even like the rappers. You know the rappers, they all got names like that. Snoop Doggy Dogg, Ice Cube, Q-Tip, Method Man.
Let's see, what did he say?
But it makes me think about Indians. You know, they got names like Red Cloud, Crazy Horse, Running Bear, Black Elk. Yeah, Indians, niggas, same thing. You don't know.
He said Indians, niggas, same thing. These were Italians, because the Moors created the Italians. If it wasn't for them going with the female, because they called her they called the Italian woman the female dog, and they procreated with the female dog. So when the half breed comes out of the female, then that's when you say that that's the son of a bee, all right. That's where that name came from. So just understand where the word motherfucker came from. From that. We were yelling at them, you motherfucker, we were saying that. So just know where those names came from. But anyway, this is back in the past. But so, the Italians got they feeling some kind of way about it, because they part nigga. But anyway, but the problem is with forget about all that. But the reparation thing is this: they have no choice but to give it up because it's cutting too close. Everything is the winds of change is forcing them to be to just hand it over, basically, just hand it over, and so they're saying, well, we're trying to study it and study. They can't study it no more. They just have to. That's why Gavin has that thing on his website. It's new, and you can easily fill it out, because I was saying, hey, it's too difficult for anybody to fill out, and you made that difficult on purpose. For many years, the mayor has it difficult. The proposal is so difficult that I can't even fill it out. And I told that Lisa woman who's ignoring me to help me with this, and she don't want to, because she don't want me to have the building. But guess what? I already have the building. They're just gonna let you know to hand over the keys eventually, Lisa. So, bitch, you wait. You just wait.
Well, you were a white man means you a Negro. And where were you? And what did you have? What was yours? What language did you speak then?
Now, listen, we had long hair. The reason why our hair was really long is because we weren't stressed the fuck out. And we wore our hair long like the Africans, where they have that red clay on their hair, and their hair be long down in here. Well, we had different clay. We had different stuff, and our hair was long. And our shit was wavy. So it wasn't like, like everybody. Some people had afros because our hair was just like that. Some people had long hair. So don't let that throw you off if you see a black woman with long hair. Oh, she's Negro. She's gingerbread colored Negro.
Your name. And why don't you now know what your name was then? Where did it go? Where did you lose it? Who took it? What tongue did you speak? How did the man take your tongue? Where is your history? How did the man wipe out your history?
See? That's what I'm saying. See, that's why Lisa, she trying to hold some shit, bitch. You come on now, and then like she can't hold nothing. She can't hold nothing. It's just she gonna end up. Somebody gonna come to her and say, okay, here, yeah, we already know who finna get this. It's gonna be Catherine, because she bid it for it, and just hand that over. Because it's my resources. Hello, Patience. Hello, Tasha Thompson. Hello, everyone. Radiation Wizard.
So if they stole them from Africa, then they would have to take them back to Africa.
Okay, now this is Sophia Stewart. That's Sophia Stewart. So she's letting you know too.
There was no need, because black people were from everywhere, all this landmass. All these different countries, black people were the indigenous people right here in America.
Thank you, right here. See, I don't like when black people say, well, we originally come from Africa. Nope, we don't. We don't originally come from Africa. We don't. Because if you originally come from Africa and you were kidnapped and brought here in America and was murdered here, then your soul would go back to Africa. Why would your soul go back to something that murdered you? You wouldn't. You would long for Africa. So if we were murdered here and we still here, that's because we're here. We were always here. So they lying. And you know they lying, because the evidence shows on the United States Congress archives that they came here in shackles and chains under Paul Revere's bloodline, and they keep vilifying it with 4th of July. They got their independence by shooting the British. Why was they shooting the British? Because the British was coming to execute them right here. Why? Because they was walking on all fours and they were criminals. See, that's what I'm saying. But I'm gonna get off this video because, okay, but
I meet somebody and he pisses in my face. That's not civilized. Right. And wanting to attack me for no reason is uncivilized. But you know what?
Mike Tyson
People
and
attack
LL
people
Cool
for no
J.
reason in the name of civilization. I think that's true too, but I'm talking about that's from a big perspective. That means I'm coming to conquer I'm coming to conquer your country. And that part, I'm coming to be your friend. I'm coming to civilize you to brotherhood. But you know what now? Look what happened with, you think about indigenous people throughout. They've been befriended and then we're the indigenous people. You know why? Because they got us in here.
See, he said Mike Tyson and LL Cool J. He said we're the indigenous people, yes, but he said that we was befriending. But in order for you, who was we was befriending the Moors, because it could not have ever been a group of white people coming in here saying hi. Because we were scared of them. For one, they was stinking. For one, they was white and they had bugs crawling all up in their eyes, so they couldn't come and approach us and say, hey, well, let me get some of your land. No, the Moors had to come and greet us, and we had to say, what the fuck is that? And then they said, oh, don't worry about it. It's just my pet. It's just my pet. Don't worry about nothing. Don't worry about nothing. And you petting a white man, and he just grunting, and they got him on a leash and shit. And we like, what the fuck you bring over this? What you bring this shit over here for? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He my slave. And this is a white man. This is a white man that is his slave. It's because he's a Moor. He's a black Moor. He comes from Europe. So what we should have did was, we should have probably knocked that fucking Moor out, knocked his fucking teeth out. What the fuck you mean? What you doing? Why you bring it over here? Why you kill it before you got where you know what I'm saying? Why didn't you kill this motherfucker before you got to our shores? Why did you bring this stinking motherfucker over here? That's the question that I want to know about the Moors. Why would you bring it over here? You know what I'm saying? If the queen lizard bitch, whatever the fuck, ordered your ass, and she didn't order. But if she's telling y'all to bring her worst over here to kill it, why you just didn't kill it? No. What you did was you shellacked it. You cleaned it up and you shellacked it, the white man and the white woman. You procreated with it. You created the Italians. Now all of them over here fucked us all up. You know what I'm saying? Here it is, 2022. From 400 years, I'm just saying, this is what happened.
Let's just change the name as much as possible to throw you all off so you really don't know what's going on. Let's keep switching the identity to hide the people. Why don't we just keep renaming you? Are you Negro? Oh, no, you're not Negro. No, you're colored. No, you're not colored. You're African American. And this is what they name you. Because I know a white guy who grew up in South Africa. And he now lives in America.
Yeah, that's Elon Musk. Elon Musk is from South Africa. Okay? And now he lives in America. And he has all this money to buy up Twitter and all this stuff. And he knows exactly what happened to us. And it's funny how he comes to our country and he buys up Twitter. He reminds me of an only child who's real selfish. And it's mine. Look what I have. I have Twitter, yes, but see, damn, I mean, that's amazing, huh? He ain't said, and then he said, oh, well, let's vote for Kanye West to be president. This was like 3 years ago. So now that he got all this money and he bought up Twitter, now, did you mention Kanye West about president? No, you didn't mention him, because it was never their type of intention to help us out. You see, whenever you see somebody wealthy and they not talking about us, but yet they know that we're suffering, then that's probably one of the worst criminals on the planet, because how you get the money anyway? That's blood money, all of that. Every single dime that the white man have is off of our backs. It's off of our resources. And what did he say? Donald said they needed help to conquer us. You damn right they did. They needed the Moors to conquer us, because they couldn't come here and do that with just a bunch of white people. That didn't make no sense. That's why it's a lie when they said the Atlantic slave trade happened. How you gonna come with just a few of y'all in a certain part of Africa and just make them get on a ship, and you fight with bugs crawling in your eyes and in your mouth because you starving to death and you ain't got no money? So how did you even get the energy to rile up all these powerful Africans on a fucking ship? 12 million. Because we never came from Africa. They just came here and they just begged and they stole our land. That's all they did, and they did it with the help of the $5 Indians. That's why they so quiet on reservations. Why do you think the white people killed most of those Indians? Because they said, you're not from here. So after after the gutter wars type in gutter wars, we were the ones that was killing the $5 Indians and the whites. We were killing them outright. We had to. So anyway, or it would be none of us left. Shit. So anyway, we were killing them because they were killing us. Well, when they conquered most of us, they killed a lot of the $5 Indians. You know, Alex Padilla, they killed his people, murdered them outright. Mexicans, all of them, pushed them out towards in Mexico and up in the reservations. That's why they not over where we're at, because the white people know that they not from here. They from Russia. So you got, just like in Israel, the Arabs removed the indigenous black people out of Israel. Then the white Jewish people is going to war with the Iranians that pushed the black people out. It's the same thing that happened over there. That's why I say there are Hebrew Israelites here, and they deserve to be able to go back and forth to Israel, to the promised land in Israel, Egypt, like Sarah Sutenseti and young Pharaoh. He would be able to go back and forth to Cairo and over here, because that's where they're from. You see, that's what they say they from there, okay? That's where you from. Just like the Moors should be able to go to Morocco, Italy, where Rome is at, where they're from. They should be able to go back and forth. They should be able to do that. That's reparations right there, because they don't qualify. No Moors qualify for no RV because you're not indigenous. No black person qualifies for an RV, and no African American Moor qualifies for an RV. You only qualify to participate in the theme park activities. That's it. Yeah. You can rent out an RV, but you can't own one. The only person that owns an RV, the Jetson RV, would be indigenous Negro people. So they would say, well, I'm indigenous. I'm a gingerbread man, or I'm a gingerbread woman, or I am. You would have to call me my lord or my lady, because I'm the lord of my land. And so we would say that we would have it on our badge. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be, when we get this airport, we will have services to where everybody will be wearing the badge, and it will say exactly what it's supposed to say on there, and who's who and what's what. And then that way people won't be confused. It'll be on your Jetsons RV. The Moors should not feel disappointed by that. They should feel grateful, because, like I said, you will have your promised land in Morocco. I would like to go to Morocco and visit. I like to go to Italy. I want African Americans to say, yes, I'm from Africa. I'm African American, so that you can put the promised land there. I don't want African Americans to be mad at me saying, Kathy, you know damn well we get them Jetsons too. No, you get the Jetsons in Morocco. You get the Jetsons in Morocco, you get the Jetsons in Italy, because they have them there. It's your promised land. You have to claim, you got to tell the truth. You can't be lying. You got to tell the truth. Say, yes, I'm from Morocco. Shit. Built my promised land over there so I can go back and forth where my country is at. You know what I'm saying? You got to tell the truth. Don't be lying. If you say you from America and you say you Moors, if you Moor, then they're going to trace your ass back. They're going to say, well, if you are Moor, then you're supposed to be in Morocco. But listen, they're going to tell you that, because she said, we're going to trace your roots back. That's how you're going to get your reparations. When we trace you back to Morocco, because you claiming yourself to be Moor, and I'm glad you are, good, because you are Moor. Shit, it's judgment on everybody. I'm just saying, you claiming yourself to be Moor, I'm telling you, they want to take you back to Moor, and I'm going to help you with that. It's going to be lovely. It's not going to be bad. It's just that, it's just that we're indigenous to this land, and we can't have the Moors stepping on us, and we can't have the Caucasians stepping on us. People have to know who's who in this world. You know what I'm saying? This judgment, you got to know who's who. And You know, it's all good for the Moors because you just have to be true to yourself. You got to just be honest. You from Morocco, you from Italy and Malta, and that's your country, and you have a right to go there and go back and forth, just like the Hebrew Israelites. You have a just like Sarah Sudin said, he has a right to go back and forth to Cairo. I have a right to go back and forth from South America. We have a right to go to travel from South America all the way back. That's yeah, from Cuba, all them islands, that's ours. Jamaica, all that's all ours. Jamaica, Haiti. We have a right to go and put promised land in Haiti. We have a right to put the promised land in South America. That's where we from. I'm just saying.
Friendly ingredients that whiten teeth and awesomely freshen breath. People are discovering this strange new feeling of actually.
He is an African American, and more African American than most. Do you see how African American is a misnomer? It's a misnomer. Don't check that box. It's a title given to blacks by democratic slavers.
And even black people back in the day calling each other black was a sign for a fight. When I was growing up, to call a person of color, like myself or others, black, was considered derogatory. That's just a fact.
See, you couldn't even say the word black to somebody else. On my great-great-grandparents' darus, the U.S. commissioner asked her, because they want to be exact, they want to be precise in who they're talking to. They want to know, what are you? And then he said, what are you? Are you a, no, he said, what color is your husband? Is he a darkie? What is he? Is he a Negro? And then she says, yes, and she said, he's a Nigger. I said, ooh, why she say it like that? Because that wasn't a bad word back then, and I didn't know that. That wasn't a bad word. That was a sacred word. I know that sounds crazy. What do you mean? But anyway, she said he's a gingerbread cake man. That's what she said. No, she said he's a gingerbread color cake. No, she's a gingerbread cake color man. That's what she said. Gingerbread cake color. Gingerbread. No, nowhere did she say black. Nowhere did she say black. The white commissioner didn't even say black. She said gingerbread. And the other Daru said the same thing, gingerbread. I'm like, wow. So they was calling us gingerbread, men and women. That's what I'm saying. And then they were saying Negro. They were saying Swarte. Swarte is black, ruddy. Black means red. You have red skin, you're ruddy. Gingerbread. Swarte is black, Negro, Indian. That's right. That's what they were saying. Is your husband Indian? Is he an Indian Negro? And she said, yes, he's an Indian Negro. It's on the diaries, man. I'm telling you. Your great-grandparents is saying, yes, we are Indian Negro. Gingerbread. Not black.
Talking about black, those were fighting words.
Fighting words, when you say black.
Our forefathers weren't the Pilgrims. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. The rock was landed on us.
And so why did they kill him? They killed him because they knew that he was indigenous. And nothing why they killed him and Dr. Martin Luther King is because they was trying to find Cain. Remember that dude that David Wilcox was scared of?
Just go talk to
that when they shot him and he came back together, they was looking for him.
Over a period of time, our people can recall being classified and reclassified by the federal government as particular titles or labels inside of their census-taking process every 10 years. And with that comes political judgment, where our people are referred to by whatever name is chosen by the government through its laws, policies, and even its media. And over the course of this government's lifespan, the indigenous Niji were referred to by the government as Indian, Wild Indian, Urban Indian, Negro Indian, and then Negro, Colored, Afro-Indian, Ameri-Indian, Afro-American, American Indian, and then Black and now African American or Black American. And here's the problem with that. Ever since we can recall records being recorded during the existence of this government, the Niji has always been referred to as whatever name the government chooses to refer to them as. So why are we the only race of people that continues to allow strangers to dictate what we should be called as a people? Why are we continuously allowing strangers to have the right to call us by names that we have historically never referred to ourselves as? See, this leaves the door wide open for multiple manipulative attacks of confusion. And what is also important to note here is that the term Native American was later used by the US Census to refer to a group of people that was originally called Indians by this government, allegedly, which means that there are now separate terms for a group of people that were once all referred to as Indians. Listen closely. According to the 1828 Webster's English Language Dictionary, the term Indian is defined as a general name of any native of the Indies, as in East Indian or West Indian. It is particularly applied to any native of the American continent.
See?
And in this same English language dictionary of 1828, it defines the noun American as a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. This means that the copper-colored races, or the Aboriginal Nijis of Turtle Island, who are now being misclassified as Black, are the original inhabitants of America. But since small to large migrations of foreigners from other continents became a viral trend during the early 1800s, the identities of the Niji were replaced by incoming foreigners. And then everyone residing in America was later referred to as Native Americans. But how is it that all of a sudden, a group of people that were not genetically nor historically associated with the term Indian in its entirety are now somehow referred to as Native Americans, as their classification of race by the US Census?
See, by the US Census. Now, you know, it's funny because when you say Native, that means that you're not indigenous. Okay, now what this is true with the $5 Indians. They are natives because they're not indigenous to America. They're indigenous to Russia and Mongolia and Asia. That's where they're indigenous to. So that's why the United States Census labeled him as native. You're not from here. That's why they murdered and pushed up the Indians up out of the land that we were already occupying. Because it's not their land, it's not their land. They came over here on some bullshit and helped the whites. When we talk about Pocahontas, they said she was raped. The Indians, $5 Indians said, nope, you raped Pocahontas. She didn't bring y'all up in here. True, because she didn't bring y'all up in here. There's no way in hell that no man would allow her. No man would allow her people would not allow her to bring them white people in here. Well, she married John Smith. No, she was raped. She was probably Black. And so you would have to ask the Black woman if you can come in, a Black woman, and you would have to ask her to come in. But see, is something sketchy about Pocahontas. She didn't marry no John Smith. That's a lie. That because her people would have whooped her ass if we would have brought in some white people in the land. That didn't happen. They would have stopped her. They wouldn't even let her talk to some white man named Johnson Smith. Then you got the Black man right there. They wouldn't let her talk to him. He wouldn't even be able to approach Pocahontas. That's why I'm saying it's a lie. Ain't no Pocahontas. No, what had happened was you went to the Black woman first. And you noticed how she couldn't say for you to come in here It was the men that was all around her. So that means you knew that you had to kill the man in order to ask the woman, can I come in your land? So that's what they did. The white men came and killed, they just killed the men. Killed the men, went to them first. And then they got us. And they didn't ask. They got us. And so that's how they did that. That's how they did that. They just came in and they just started slaughtering the men. And with the Moors, see, that's why I say, the Moors have to, they don't qualify to get a Jetsons, but you can come to the theme park though, because goddamn.
During the early to mid 1800s, the offsprings of previous foreigners of European descent that migrated to North America prior to this great migrational period were threatened by the increase of even more foreigners being welcomed as citizens of America. These people were referred to as nativists, which carried a lifestyle of prejudice and bigotry, racial discrimination, radical political views, and biased religious beliefs.
Now, the reason why the white people brought all that bullshit over is because that's where they come from. They come from the medieval. You gotta look at it's this guy named Booker T, and he has stacks and stacks of books about how the European lived in their country in London in the medieval times. How did they live? They lived as pure savages. I mean, the police department there used to torture people for fun. They would sit a woman on this makeshift horse. The back of the horse would be made of like a razor. It'd be like a razor blade. They'll set the woman down on there, and they'll put weights on her feet, and they just split her whole body down real slow. That's the kind of shit that they would do back then for nothing. So now you got, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So you got these same people that came across here with that medieval mentality of how they used to do their women over here for 400 years. That's why reparations have to. That's why they say reparations, because it's too long for them to keep on with this evil persona. They have to give it up. They got to give it up. So I just wanted to show that, but I'm gonna get off this. Because it's just evil how they need help conquering. That's right. When the big war happened, the Mexicans didn't help us. They went back. That's right. Now, Donald Whitehead said that it's true. See, when that big war when it happened, they went back to Mexico. They didn't help us. And when you look at it right now, when we're getting shot on the street, how many Indians come to our aid? Not one. And we love the Indians. Don't we always say, we got Indian in our family? Don't we love the Indians? When we used to, we said, oh, look, that's the Indian family, But they never showed us any respect, if you really think about that. All this whole time when we was getting murdered and killed and shit, we ain't seen not one Indian ever spoke up for us. I've never seen that. I ain't never seen that. But what we do is, when we see, the border crisis, look at the children, the Mexican children, and it ain't nothing wrong with them. Well, no, let me scratch that. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is something wrong with them. Because if they're trying to cross over here, then there's something wrong with their government system, and we know that. And I can cure that problem. All you got to do is just stop them right where they at, where they crossing at. They create the promised land right there, and then boom, you live right there. You ain't got to live in Mexico where you getting fucked up at, I guess. But since you crossing, then stop right where you at in that part of that area where you keep crossing that in, and then create the promised land right there, and that your problem is solved. But the government is so evil that they won't even help the border crisis. They won't even help that. They'll just cause the problem, because the money is in the problem and not the solution. But anyway, so enough of them. It's just some evil shit going on here. And now they have to release it. They have to release the the services because it's cutting close. It's cutting too close in with the judgment. The judgment is already upon them. The pressure is on. We sent the poster magazines to them, and now they know what's up. They already know what's up. They know. They just pure evil. So what we have to do is just, well, we're just doing what we've been doing, just waiting. That's all. We just waiting. We're just waiting. I'm just so glad that because I have my Patreon members, Tasha Thompson on here. Thank you so much. You guys are really Patience is on here. Everybody's on my Patreon. We are going to go to the promised land. We're going to get there because I can see it. I can see the promised land. I really can. It's, because it's our resources and the truth will set us free because you just have to tell the truth. That's what I'm saying. You got to be honest, right? We just got to tell the truth. That's all. And what have I been doing? I've been telling the truth the whole time. And what's the result of that? Well, NBC announced that they're going to wait for California to fix the reparation problem so they can copy it. That's good news. That means they have to listen to me and they got to do exactly as I say because they can't help the problem. They don't know how to fix it. They don't know how to, oh man. They don't know how to fix it. Mainly
as more immigrants flock.
Mainly the gold at first. Yeah, they stole our gold. And that's why I say, in all of that, Trump has said that he found the gold. He knows where it's at. And, it's on lock. And I know why it's on lock because it's for this moment here. They got to release the gold, because we don't deal with money. And I told them it's on my business plan. We don't deal with money. In fact, that theme park, when we generate all this money from the theme park, that has to go back to the services to keep the shit going because we don't deal with money. We deal with gold, precious metals, precious rubies, diamonds. We deal with only tangible things brick and mortar, services, houses, flying cars and stuff, flying vehicles. That's what we live off of, food and agriculture, natural resources. That's what we live off of. So that's what and that's what's going to be returned back to us because it's ours. And all we have to do is just tell the truth. That's it. I can't wait to play music, because I can't play music here because they talking about copyright. See, we won't have to be dealing with none of that bullshit as soon as we get to it's going to be at each airport, not every airport, but certain airports will be turned into the promised land. That's what the reparation is. And the reparation is that you report to your airport and you pick up your Jetsons. Now, and you live in the promised land. You live back and forth. You do whatever you want to do. You just travel, and you travel to the designated areas where there's national park center areas. And I'm talking about areas where we could see our resources. Where it go? Where we could see our resources. Hold on. Well, we're supposed to see our and I mean we're gonna travel to places where you're gonna see. Here it is. See,
Experience our world with the whole family. This is prehistory.
We're going to see things.
That we wrongly understand as Tartaria and Roman Empire.
Okay, you see.
So which means that if
you see,
it took them so long
in South America,
to actually go to the site and take a picture. This was 1911. So what did the human species of the 19th century do? That's a problem because that's
we're going to be seeing sites like this where you could see different. I mean, we're going to be going everywhere. Where the Grand Canyon, in the Grand Canyon where they have I want to go to, okay, right. That's right in California, right? That's right by Oakland. Napa Valley is so beautiful. And then they have right there is where the grapes, all the grapevines is grown. A lot of grapevines is grown in Napa Valley. We're gonna go everywhere because now remember, Gavin Newsom is over in Oakland. Oakland is so beautiful over there. I'm talking about the nature centers and all that. We're going to be traveling from just from different, and it's going to be in only the national park centers where it's beautiful at, where we have our ruins at. And then people say, well, you can't go there. Well, no, we will be going there because those are our places that you don't want us to be in. We know we're going to be going in there. Now, of course, when they say that if there's areas where they have made war at and that it's kind of toxic in those areas, they have to let us know where are those areas at. We will be knowing where those areas at, so we won't be going in those areas because I think that there's some areas that are really kind of toxic. Maybe the areas I'm talking about is the Salton Sea in California by it's right over there. We're not going to go in that area anyway because that's the east side. That's where all the Mexicans stay at. We're not going to go in that area. But anyway, that area is toxic in that area. Somehow there's nuclear war had happened in that area in Salton Sea. Type it in. That's on the east side. That's where we will not be going at. That's where the east side is at. That's where Alex Padilla and his people is at. Let them stay over there. Anyway, very toxic area. So, but we're going to be traveling in areas where it was off limits before, but now it's going to be open for us because those are our sacred grounds. And wherever we have the promised land at, it will be an area where certain people can't get in. You know what I mean? It'll be gates. It'll be a gate because it'll be secure. It's because whatever is going on the outside of us, it don't have nothing to do with us because there's things that's going to happen. It's going to happen. Let me see. That's on Net Most Wanted. Okay. So anyway, so these are the different areas, and we're going to go to the Grand Canyon and just everywhere that the BLM is called Business and Land Management, and they own all the property and land resources, and they also have hidden property that we're going to look at because I have ordered so many maps of California to where they have Mount Sinai there, and then Zion is there, just Zion. Where you see those historical names, Cairo and stuff, that's where we'll be living at. In Chicago, there is a Cairo, Egypt, believe it or not, in Chicago. We will be living over there. There's the Pyramid Mounds is over there. We will be having the Promised Land right there. So different areas like that.
And species, our human species, started after the reset. They didn't have time. They didn't have the tools to go. So because, for example, by 1811, there were barely any humans in the world. That's the reason why. So it's impossible for a human species. They tell us, oh, humanity has been around for like 2,000 years, 3,000.
Reset.
No one likes cleaning toilets.
I wanted to show
so
you.
Spend less time cleaning the toilet that cleans itself.
I wanted to show.
So in this video, I'm going to speak about the reset of this humanity in the night.
Wow, look at that. Look at that. These are skull and bones. These are bones and heads, skulls everywhere. Look at that. These are bones, rib cages, bones, legs. All of these body parts are bones. And this is a 1700s, 1600s. This is indigenous. Look at these black Arabs. War has been, this is in America. This is in America. Look at this old. See, we've been
18th century. At the end of this video, you're going to have 34 old pictures in black and white, and the conclusion is yours to reach based on comparing this video with what we've seen in America and Russia and the whole of the 19th century and the reset weapons and the movies of Hollywood and the series, everything comes
those look like children heads and bodies everywhere.
We speak about in this case
look at all
the
these dead
mutiny
bodies.
in 1857, 1859 in India, the Sepoy mutiny. What happened, and you're gonna actually change your mindset a bit. So first of all, official history says that Indian mutiny, also called as the Sepoy mutiny, was a widespread but unsuccessful rebellion against the British Empire rule.
I need you to see British Empire rule. See, listen. Okay, when the British, British and white people here are the same people. When they go to a land, they'll conquer and they'll kill the people, and they'll just leave the bones and the bodies, dead bodies right here. Well, they did that in Ethiopia. This is Ethiopia, and it's a connection with America. Somehow Ethiopia is connected to America. I don't know. But they did the same thing in Ethiopia here, where they left dead bodies and bones in 1700s, and they just tore up our buildings. I just wanted to show you. I'll leave a link of how many castles that we were shot out. We were removed out of. We were shot out of castles. We were shot out of airports, out of all kinds of different buildings that we see today. We were shot out of that shit. So now they realize that from our poster magazines and from these videos that I've been showing them, they've been looking at them. You know, so now they know that they have to give it up. Basically, they do. And they said, oh, it's going to take a year. No, it's not, because I signed the paper, and I'm going to email you. If you don't email me within 2 weeks, I'm going to email you, and I'm going to tell you, Gavin Newsom, you already have the paper. Oh, don't make me come over there. So you already have that paper. So you have the proposals that I have filled out, and it's a real easy website that he has on his. I really thank him for that. At least you have your website, and it's so easy for me to fill out, because the mayor has his proposal where it seems like it's 150 pages, and it's deliberate. It's deliberate. Like you're trying to make it difficult for me to get it. And you're going to be exposed for that, Eric Garcetti. Okay? Because you are Garcetti sounds like a Mexican $5 Indian. That's Garcetti. Okay. So you can't afford to fuck up. You have to fix the proposal or accept my proposal, because they're waiting on you, Mayor. Oh no, they're waiting on Gavin. They're waiting on the governor. Well, they're waiting on both of you bitches. And don't get upset because I call you a bitch. Worse than that. So don't worry about it. Now. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna to my Patreon people and to my subscribers, just don't mind me when I cuss out the mayor, when I be cussing out the governor. Just I'm just being really serious. I'm just being honest. I can't tell a lie. I have to tell them what they are, because they just criminals. Okay. So I don't want you guys to feel bad that I'm cussing them out. Whereas you might say, well, Kathy, they finna give up the reparations, and they gonna give it up. It's like, yeah, they gonna give it up, but don't we feel kind of like we feel bad that we have to go through all of this shit in the first place? Like, don't we? We feel hurt. Patients don't. And Tasha and everybody, I know Tasha, you got to go to work. I know you probably went to sleep. See, A Jones, don't it seem like that? Don't we feel bad? Like, don't we feel bad that they've taken this long to give up our shit? Do we feel kind of angry? Do we not? And don't we have a right to feel angry? I'm just, yes, Cairo. That's right. See, patients know that if you look at a map, just please look at a map. In Chicago, there is a Cairo, Egypt. Well, that's our promised land. And it was a girl named Toya, and I wrote down her name. Was it Toya? What was her last name? LaToya. Anyway, she's from Chicago. I'm from Chicago. I was born in Harvey, Illinois, and I was raised in Grand Rapids, Michigan with my family. And then we moved to Arizona for 13 years. And then I moved to California. And I've been here for 25 years. I've been here in California for 25 years, struggling in homelessness and poverty with my 4 children, and since 2007, I've been sending these people the promised land, like the instructions to the promised land. So, I feel angry, right? Like, not angry. I don't feel angry. I actually feel happy. I'm really excited and I'm happy because I'm a nice person. Like, I'm a really nice person. And I don't mean any harm to anybody. I don't mean any harm to nobody. I am the creator of the promised land. This is just what I do. Some people are mechanics. Some people are builders or carpenters. I create the promised land. This is just what I do. I don't know anything else. And the way that I cross you over is that we have to get our minds to think that we have to know that we can't tell a lie no more. We got to tell the truth. So what are we? Okay, well, I'm indigenous. We're indigenous. We gingerbread colored, because that's the truth. We gingerbread colored, and it's on the Darus. And this is our land. This is our land. So we just tell them the truth. All of this is our resources, and we're not asking for all of it. We're just saying, give us our portion so we can travel without you bothering us. We want to travel around the world without you bothering us. And our passport is our badge. Don't ask us. Don't be pulling us over. No shit. Leave us alone. And also, your police officers would have to protect us. So I had already bidded for the justice service for your police officers to protect us. So instead of you shooting us, you're gonna protect us. That means that if you see anybody foaming at the mouth, I'm not saying that everybody finna turn into zombies, but if the cops see some zombies running around chase, you have to protect us from these creatures. I'm just saying, shit about to pop off. You need to watch Netmost One. It's about to pop off. Now, in my proposal, I had bidded for part of the Justice Department to protect us, to make sure that you get your people away from us. If we say, don't worry about our Jetsons, get away from our Jetsons, because it's going to be some haters. I'm just being honest. We have to be honest. It's going to be some haters. I don't want no haters around me. We in our promised land. Leave us alone. Just do you, boo boo. Do you, boo boo. You can come and visit the public theme park and do you, but don't be coming around, and just begging. Just come on now. Come on, mind your business. So that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying. It's gonna be some hating going on. You driving around in your brand new Jetsons, and you got the badge to travel anywhere you want to just because it's Tuesday, you're going to have some haters. I'm just being honest. Somebody going to be hating your ass. Okay, well, you're going to need some protection. Okay, well, in the proposal, and then also too, now this is for people who need protection, who don't have family. Now, you're going to have family. Once you get in the promised land, you're going to have family just like that. You're going to have a whole bunch of family, because let me tell you how you're going to have family. You have to be on the same page as us. All we do is we mind our own business. We travel with our family. We take care of the theme park. That's it. And we just do what we've been doing. So if you were a mailman or a postal, if whatever you were doing, right, you just do that in the promised land. But everything is free. Everything. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Everything is free. If you want to buy something, it would be like where you would trade gold for this. Like, ooh, I got a pretty necklace. I trade you for this, for that. Whatever. Stuff like that. But anyway, but everything is free. Let's see. Universal active. I know that's right. I'm so disappointed and disgusted. See, A. Jones is disappointed. He's disgusted. Me too, because it took y'all this long to give us our shit, and you, come on now. It should not have taken this long. That's why we so angry. But it's okay. Just hurry up and just hand it over, Gavin Newsom. Get a hold of Lisa, whatever her name is, and hand her to hand over the damn building so we can get on with it. That's basically what it is. And you know what I'm saying? So you got that application. So they got it, you know. So who's that? King Slew, that's right. We all family, absolutely. And all of us have to be on this. Is that Rod Hayes? That's probably not Rod Hayes. This is another King Slew. Okay. So anyway, so yeah, we all have to stick together. And speaking of Rod Hayes, let me tell you, his platform is fire. Listen, when I get on Facebook, sometimes I would rarely say something to him. And when I say something to him, every time I say something to him, he don't say nothing to me. He'll say something like this. I'll say this. I'll say, man, I'm so tired of these damn people. And then I say, you know, I'm not going to be on here for a while. I'm just going to wait because the people too stupid because they just got to wait. And then you know what he would do? Rod Hayes would go like this, right? That he won't say nothing. He'll just like, bing. Okay, you know what that means? That means, you know what, Kathy, whatever you think is what it's going to be anyway. So yeah, go ahead and go ahead and just pause for a minute for the cause, but you still finna come back to this shit and do what you're supposed to do. And every time he'll either put like a bing, it would give me an idea. I don't know how. Just like this other guy that came on there, his name is James West. He said, talk about Larry Hoover. And I didn't know who Larry Hoover was. I didn't know. And then I heard the name again earlier. And then I was busy and I was doing something else. And then James West said it again, like a week after that. He said, how come you talk about Larry Hoover? And I'm like, you know what? Let me just type this name in and see who this man is. And then when I saw it, I said, oh my God. This man is it's my people. It's from my mother's side. It just really broke my heart, really, to be honest with you. It broke my heart. And then especially when I seen the Don Dirk situation with Vlad, when Vlad interviewed Don Dirk, that did it for me. I was just completely enraged. And I just feel like that everybody should feel disgusted. You see what I'm saying? Because it's taking you this long to come up off reparations. And now you're gonna come up off reparations because you on national TV on NBC, and you said it. And you made this policy so easy for me to fill out. I really have to say thank you on this one because you have it. I'm going to be the head owner. That's what it says right here. When you apply for this position here, you're applying for different positions to where you will be able to own power and water, transportation, housing and community housing. Oh my God. We're going to take out child support enforcement laws. Let me tell you how criminal the child support enforcement laws is. Let me just. Now I had to put this in my proposal because it has to be stopped on the indigenous people. Let me tell you how criminal it is. Now, for one, you don't add the man to the Section 8 housing with the woman. You don't add the man to the welfare with the woman when she's applying. So then you want to turn around and have him to pay $815 for 2 children and no money, and you didn't give him no job. What job you gonna get this black man, this indigenous man? So let me get this straight. Because when I had informed on my proposal, I had to let them know about the child support enforcement. How are you going to force a man to pay for? Now this is a real life scenario that it happened to me, to where spread the word. Oh, he let me see. Oh, okay. Oh. King Slew, okay. So let me tell you, child support is you talking about that right there Whoever created child support right there, they got to go to prison. Now, let me tell you why. Because for one, you did not create the man in the Section 8 housing. So if you don't if you don't include the man in the Section 8 housing, now he got to come up out his ass and pay for another house, then which you don't add him on the welfare. Not that the welfare is kicking, you ain't giving us no money, but I mean, goddamn, at least give him something. You ain't add him on that, but you expect him to pay $815 out his ass. How he gonna get the money? Well, you don't even see. This is why I'm saying we're enraged. We're enraged for some bullshit like that, because you have to understand something, that when people are when we talk about enslavement and oppression, we're talking about made up laws like child support enforcement, where you saying that this man got to come up with all this money, and if he don't, he go to jail. But your money is limited for us to have. But you want him to come up with $800 and something dollars for 2 children every month. Okay. Now, okay, so instead of them going to prison, we just have to get somewhere. That's all. Just let us get somewhere to where we'll have our own area to where we can get somewhere. We can get away from all of these policy laws that don't make any sense. That just seems like it's just the death of us. It just seems like that all these policies that have been made up, it's just the death of us. So I went on ahead and I filled it out, and they go on and they make it to where this is an official application. See, it says appointments application. It's submitted successfully, but it's for appointments application. So they're just going to write out an appointment for me. They went on ahead, and the type of questions is here is stating that it's like as if I already have it. This is very precise, and it lets you know I claimed that basically I'm going to be the governor. That's basically what it means. I'm applying to be the governor of California. And I let them know that I am the owner of California State. Now, the reason why I say I own California State is because you own you own whatever state you in, you own that. Because remember now, they removed us from our homes. Remember? So before they came here, we owned the land that we were at. Okay? So they had already admit that, yes, we removed you. Okay? So because of that, we're going to go ahead and give you your reparations. So our reparations is that, well, everybody's entitled, they will have the 640 acres on their back. 640 acres is theirs. That means automatically no cop, no white, black, Chinese, blue, or purple cop can tell you where to lay or stay. In fact, you have to tell them that you feel uncomfortable and you don't want them around in your land, and they got to go somewhere. I'm talking about you got to tell a cop, a sheriff that, you got to tell a deputy that, you got to tell the military that. I don't feel comfortable you being on my land. You need to go somewhere with all that. Whatever they're at. I don't know, whatever. If you don't feel comfortable with them being around you, then they got to go. It's like a restraining order. It's like a restraining order. That's what it is. Okay? And you're entitled to that. Because this is your land. Okay? So that means that whatever business that you want is yours. You see what I'm saying? And you would have to claim that, because in the reparation bill that I have, whoever applies within the promised land gets whatever, whatever you claim, because it's yours, it's your shit. And you have to set up your promised land in your area so we can go and travel in your area and keep it safe, because the rules apply to every state. So if you have if you're in Texas, Tasha Thompson, she will be protected by every single promised land company in Texas, in every state. They all got Tasha. They all got me. Every promised land got everybody's back, because we travel to each other and we know each other. We know everybody. The reason why we know everybody, because we travel from different states, and it's a lot of us. So it would be 144,000 in each state. Well, let's just take a wild guess of the numbers. Let's just start with 144,000. Okay, 144,000. Yeah, in each state. I guess that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. I don't know. It will. Okay, and nothing too. Now, when they announced this, we're going to announce this on national television, because remember now they said that they're going to go by Gavin Newsom's thing here. Okay, they're going to go by that. So when they go by that, it's going to be on national TV. So every eye will definitely see. They're going to see it. Now, what we're doing is we're just waiting on Gavin Newsom to go ahead and contact me. That's what we're waiting on. Okay, so that's what we're waiting on. Yeah, so shout out to everybody. Now, now I'm just really happy about what's going on, because we are moving forward into the promised land, because it's inevitable, is it not? Okay, it's inevitable. Kings. Oh, let's see. Kevin Tony, what? King's song. Oh, I don't know what Rod Hayes is waiting on, but I don't know. But yeah, Rod Hayes, he has his platform, and he's doing all the right things that he's supposed to do. He's waking up the masses, and I'm just really happy that Yeshua Pandera is, he's still on Rumble, and so I'm just really happy that everybody is still maintaining what they're supposed to maintain. It just everybody's becoming, conscious and everything, that, and even Dan Calloway, he's becoming more and more conscious that, you know what, $5 Indians, they not indigenous. He just probably is not figuring that out. But I put that in my book in 2014 that they weren't from here. I was saying that way before that. I put Dan Calloway out through my book that he's right. And so, but now everybody's really, really coming around, and they said, oh, it's going to take a year for us to know. It's not going to take a year, because I already signed it. It's not going to take you, it's going to take you about 3 weeks. You're going to come up off that within 3 weeks, because shit. Now I'll go ahead and leave you a link to Gavin Newsom's email. So you can say, no, Gavin, it's going to take you about 2 weeks for you to get this together. It's not going to take you a year. It's not going to take you a year. It's going to take you about 2 weeks to get this shit together. I'm going to get off this thing because, shout out to Louisiana Tay. What you smoking on? I'm just joking. It's a joke. Anyway, I'm going to get off this, and, because this is good news. I did all that I had to do, so I'm just going to relax and just, I just watched some videos and stuff. I'm just really excited. This is great. We're going to get to the promised land, you guys. Listen. Can I just tell you something before I get off this? I just want to say something. When you see me at the airport, I'm going to scream. Shit, I'm going to be so happy. I'm just going to be so happy, because when you see me at this airport, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, she did it. Lord have mercy. This girl she done did it. Now, along with that reparation thing, I put in there that everybody has to be accommodated. If they don't have enough money to get to me to California, then I have to give them, because it's on there, because I did it for the financial. Okay, it's like where I own a bank. Okay, so I have my own banking. So they have to send, because reparations means that you have to accommodate the indigenous people by any means. So if you're trying to get over here, I have to pay you money to get over to me, so you can get the Jetsons. We can set this up in California, and then you can go to wherever you're from, like Texas or Tennessee, Kentucky. You see what I'm saying? And then also, I want to go with you. I want to go to Texas, and I want to set it up in Texas. I want to go to Kentucky. I want to travel. I want to, and so what's going to happen is I can see it right now. It's going to be Tasha Thompson, Patience, and everybody's on my page, Patreon. with the Jetsons in California, and we're gonna have it where you'll know who we are when you come in, when you see us traveling in our Jetsons. People are gonna see it. It's like just turn on type in Fame. I'm gonna live forever. Watch Fame, the song Fame. People will see you and because they're gonna know that we come to bring the promised land. And when they see us, people will probably cry. I'll tell you why. Because when they see that we're coming to bring the promised land to them in every state, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing because our Jetsons is gonna be beautiful, and they're gonna be like, "What's that? What is?" People that have never seen the Jetsons don't know who I am. They're gonna see us traveling to form the promised land in Kentucky, in Tennessee, in Texas, in Louisiana, in Florida, in wherever, in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? And now if you do California, which is going to be nationally known, when we do California, obviously if we come into Texas, people are going to be screaming like, "Oh my God, they here!" You see what I'm saying? It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know how amazing it's going to be. It's going to be really something, and all eyes will pay attention, and they will see, because they'll see that we're not playing no games. We're here to create the promised land. We're here to take out the children that's in foster care, that's in CPS custody, into the promised land. You see what I'm saying? So we crossing people over in many different situations. 16-year-olds who are in foster care, who got siblings that need their Jetsons. You know that. They don't need to be in that system. They need to be in the Shia facility with other little kids, with other children. And oh man, it's gonna be beautiful, y'all. I can see it. I can see heaven. Okay, so let me get off this thing here, because I just want to, because I'm a relax, because where's my damn glasses? Okay, because I did what I had to do. I'm done. I did what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? I sent papers. There's some still racist people that's holding on to that building, which is Lisa. You supposed to got in contact with me and tell me about that, but never mind, because Gavin finna get in contact with you, boo-boo. Tell you to hand over them damn keys at that airport. Yes, just waiting on my lord, my lady. That's right. Let me tell you, I'm telling you right now, when you see me in this airport, I just know that I'm finna send for y'all, for you to come over here and come in and get this Jetsons. It's right off and type it in. Type in the address. Google 5600 West Century Boulevard, Los Angeles, California 90045. Now, when you Google it, you're gonna go on Century Boulevard all the way to the ocean. When you see the ocean, you're gonna see RVs right there. The RV center is right there. Top of the line RVs. Now, those are people that probably already own those RVs. I don't know, but what I'm saying is that they can ship our brand new RVs there. We're going to be residing off thank you. Let's see. Learning and building Jetsons. That's exactly what we're going with. It's just too good to be true. Because let me tell you why this is going to happen, because it is inevitable, is it not? It's inevitable. Because if all this time we've been living in hell, I'm sorry. All this time we've been living in hell, and okay, so all this time we've been living in hell, and it's just time for us to cross over. That's enough suffering. That's enough for us to and you know what? And I can feel it too. It's in the air. I can literally feel a shift. I can't explain it, but it's like I can feel that it's like as if they're being separated from us, and they're being separated from us, and I can see that, like I can sense that they're being separated from us finally, and that we're basically on our own. You know, we're basically on our own, and we were supposed to have been on our own. You know, we were supposed to have been on our own. And I feel like that, you know, they're gonna have to. They are giving it up because they have to. You know, so yeah. So shout out to Brian. He's always saying, "Yeah, I wish I could see another video." Well, he's the one that said NBC they announced reparations. I looked that up. Sure enough, for California, because they're waiting on me. They're waiting on. Really, they was waiting on Gavin to get a hold of me, but Gavin's so goddamn stupid. You should have emailed me. But never mind. I found your thing here, your little, and I filled it out, and it's done. Shame on you, Gavin, for not emailing me about the reparations. NBC had to announce that. Slow ass. That's okay. That's all right. That's okay. You could be slow. Just hurry up and answer this. But anyway, let me get off this thing. I'm just rambling down. Look at this. This is all. I'm gonna leave a link. Look at, you're gonna see these bodies, rib cages everywhere, these skulls, because they ran through our shit and murdered us in 1800s. That's what I'm saying. See how they just tore up bombed our buildings. This was a library back in 1700s, a library. And this is in India. So, okay, I'm gonna go. I just wanted to announce that I answered Brian Berner's call. He said, Catherine, they announced it. So when I looked at it, I had to go to Gavin Newsom's website and fill out the forms for the reparation thing that we own. And so I did that. I put my name on it. I signed it and everything. So, okay. So just let me know. You can email me. But I'm just gonna be waiting, Yes. And the shift is separation is happening. Yes, it is. I can feel the separation. I can feel it. I can literally feel the separation. Like, but then you know what's gonna happen. Once we get behind the gates of this promised land, do you know what's going to happen? I know what's going to happen. And that most wanted seems to be, like, ooh, he's saying, oh my God, it's going to be horrible. It's going to be bad. It's going to be so bad because for them, because it's like, damn, imagine that. You got like people that don't know what to do, because they've been running the government so long and they don't know how to live. They just know how to live off of people. They know how to live off of us. Imagine where we just leave and they just left out there. Listen, we leave, we go into the promised land and they just left out there. They're going to kill themselves. They can't live without, because misery loves company. Well, we not no company no more. We not your company no more. We gonna go and do us, boo-boo. So we not your company. So misery just gonna be all by itself. Okay. Now, of course, when people see us in the Jetsons on YouTube, they're gonna be like, "Damn," because no one really knows, that I even exist. Of course, because that's right, SHIA. SHIA stands for Successful Service Housing and Educational Arenas. So Successful Service Housing and Educational Arenas. That's what SHIA stands for. It's a sports dome arena that you live on the top VIP section of it, because I used to work at the Diamondbacks in Arizona. So where condominiums is where you live, and your front yard is your backyard is the sports dome arena. So you'll be able to see the Lakers play. You'll be able to see football players play, all of your favorite teams. I mean, well, if you guys have favorite teams, I'm not into sports or anything like that. I'm just saying you'll be able to see people perform that been performing and right there in your backyard. People will come and pay. The people that pay, all of the proceeds will go back to keeping the service up and running, basically. So it would be it would be Gavin Newsom or whoever is going to pick up the money, take the money, because we don't deal with money. We need the government to take this money. That's what y'all have. We use brick and mortar. We use gold and precious metals. We don't use money because we have everything. What we gonna need your money for, and we got everything. It would be an abomination if we held your money in our hand either. That's why we have to get to the promised land, because it's a sin for us to hold your money. We're not supposed to even be living with people that we don't even like, and it's our family members. We're supposed to be separate. We're supposed to have a clear mind, and we're supposed to be drinking purified water and fruits and vegetables because we was doing that before. So we supposed to be living right according to our soul without the influences of the Europeans or whatever. And that's what we're going to get back to. Now, if we don't, then that's an abomination. We can't touch your money. We can't touch the white man's money. We can't do that. It's an abomination for us to even think that we have to have it. You see what I'm saying? It's an abomination to think that. That's not our money. Our money is gold and silver that they stole, precious resources, rubies and diamonds and shit. Plants and animals. That's that we have to take care of. We got to take care of the animals. We got to release gorillas out of the zoos and put them in the nature center. We got to do that. I put that in my book in 2004 that I was going to end up releasing gorillas out of their cages because I could see it. And the world have earthquakes and tornadoes when you don't release your people up out of them cages. Birds is not supposed to be in bird stores being sold. Birds and pets and shit, animals, they're not supposed to be in pet stores. That's why we got earthquakes and shit. Because you messing up the animals. The animals don't want to be kept in cages. I want horses around me. Me too. We're going to have that. We're going to have all that. We have horses. Cows to me is boring, but I still got to rescue their ass. I mean, to me, I just, they don't be doing that. Just be mooing all day. I love cows. We have to save them. We got to save the cows. We got to save the cows, the horses. We got to save little baby goats. We even got to save little pigs. I don't know why, but we do. They got opinions too. They don't want to die. We don't eat them. We don't eat pigs. We don't eat pigs. We don't eat cows. I'm not gonna eat no chicken no more. Okay, I'm gonna get off the chickens. Okay, so we don't eat animals. Okay, we don't. Yeah. See, cats and dogs. I want horses around me. I want cats and dogs. And we have to listen. You know what kind of dogs we're gonna save? We're gonna save them dogs that's tied up behind people's backyard. You know damn well you could put them in the promised land nature center thing and let them run around or something. We're gonna have land for them, because we got so much land. We can't be having no dogs tied up, especially in the wintertime. And you're gonna tie it. We're gonna have to go around in different neighborhoods, especially in Detroit. Y'all sorry with that with y'all animals. Chicago and Detroit up in there, y'all got the worst conditions of animals, and we're going to check y'all for that. We're going to pay you money. We're going to pay you some money too. Here, let me get your dog, because you ain't treating it right. Come here and get your dog, and you're going to put him in the promised land sanctuary. It's like that. Listen, we have to think about animals. We have to think about nature. We have to think about these things. We got to think about planting trees where trees need to be. Come on now. Look at the airport. It's nothing but concrete. That's an abomination. Look at all that concrete. And it's like, well, yeah, actually, come to think of it, because they don't want no birds flying around that area, because it'll fly up into the airplanes and get stuck in it and have it, right? Okay, but what if, but see, birds fly everywhere anyway, don't they? Do they not fly anyway? I think that's kind of, yeah, they do. They do fly everywhere anyway. And they don't fly that high where an airplane is up that high. So the fact that you have concrete on that airport, that's just not right. You should have trees and stuff. Yeah, you should have trees because you have trees on the next block over. You have trees everywhere on the next block over, all everywhere, but just not at the airport. That's bad. You shouldn't have it where it should be a nature park at the airport. Yep, we're gonna be a rescue team. That's it, because that's in my book. We are a rescue team, and we have to be, because if we don't rescue these animals, you know what I'm saying? How can we get to be rescued, but they don't? That's mean. That's so mean. Oh, forget about that dog. He just a dog. I'm not gonna. Okay, well, fine. At least put the poor dog in some sanctuary where he won't be tied up all, and where it's real. I'm talking about like when it get real cold. Even when it's hot, don't have that dog tied up outside like that, and don't have no bird in a bird cage. Ew. Don't have no bird in a bird cage. You might say, well, that's my bird. Yes, but your bird, if it could talk, it would say, look, bitch, release me. Or, if it could talk, it would say, release me. The only reason why you got a bird in a bird cage because you was able to buy it because the government said that you could buy it. That you could buy this bird that we captured. Because the government be capturing everybody. See, that's against the law for you to capture a bird and then put it and then sell it for profit. That's horrible. That's why, we get fucked up around here, because we don't pay attention to the animals and stuff. It's true. Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah, I'm just so excited. So I'm just really happy. So I'm going to go, and I'm just so happy that this good news on the way. You know what I'm saying? And it's just time. It's just, time and pressure, but just make sure we just apply that pressure. Apply the pressure so that it'll break, and then it's like, oh, thank God we're here. Oh goodness, they gave up the keys. We're here, and we just gonna build our promised land, and that's that. Okay, so I'm gonna go, and I'll make a video, not tomorrow, but maybe the next day. But as soon as I get that email, I'm like, okay. They emailed me. I'll tell you. I'll let you know. Okay, they emailed me, and this is what happened, and so on. So I'll tell you. But yes, I'll let you know. Let's see. Hawaii's airport is so natural. It's totally lovely. Ooh, promised land. Here we come. That's right. In Hawaii. Yes. Hawaii is also part of California. Well, anyway. We will be going to our promised land in different cities and different states. I heard Australia has a really bad, it's beautiful over there, but it just has a really bad homeless problem over there. I guess the white people are homeless over there. We can't help that. But what I'm saying is that we'll have, I don't know, we're just going to stick to our America, South America, Jamaica, Haiti, just right in our region. We're just going to stick to that. Well, Hawaii, of course, Hawaii is ours. And then also, too, actually, Asia is ours, too. We got Asia. Yeah, because if you go from California, you just keep straight, you'll end up in Hawaii, then you'll end up in Asia, Australia. So that's all ours. Okay. So, yeah, it's just going to start in California first, and then we're going to work our way to Texas. We're going to work our way into Texas, Kentucky, Chicago, Michigan. And when they see us coming, they're going to know that it's us, and people will cry. So type in the song Fame by Irene Cara. Just type in that song, and I'm going to end it with that. So let's end with the song Fame, okay? Just do that. Do that for me. Just listen for me. And yes, it's going to be tears, because it's true. We're going to be so happy. We're going to be so happy. Oh, my goodness. Let me see. Is it better? I'm going to live forever. That's right. I'm going to live forever, because we're going to live forever in the promised land. Fame. That's right. Is it better to move to California when it's activated? Well, if you already are established somewhere else, what you would do is you would take a flight to California, pick up your Jetsons, pick up your badge, and then I'm gonna go over where you at. Because if it's established in California, I want to establish is at, where Patience is at, where all of my people is at. And then we can just be, because I want to travel from California to Texas to Florida to, I want to be able to do that. So we're going to just we have to start in California, then we'll just work our way around. And we're just going to go back and forth. We're going to be going back and forth to different states. That's just what we're going to be doing. So when we say, let's say Tasha lives in Texas, she's going to say that she lives in California too. Patience is going to say that I'm going to say I live in Texas. So we're going to live in different states. That's why I say we own every state. So we can't say that, well, are you going to live in California? You're going to live anywhere you want to live. That's just what it's going to be. But we're going to start in California and we're just going to work our way. When we go to California, we're going to know that we own Texas, we own Florida, you know what I'm saying? That's just how it's going to be. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's just see. I'm in New York, moving to Kentucky. Good, because I want to go to New York too. Every Baltimore to Kentucky. We're just gonna that's what we're gonna do. Because it's written right here. This is in the proposal, and this is what I had picked. I picked coastal areas, all national park center areas linked to the airport. So your airport is going to be linked to national centers from Kentucky and everywhere. So we're going to just do that. Okay, so I'm going to get off this here, and we're just going to live forever. So type in that song Fame, because that's what I'm going to type in. I'm going to listen to that right now. Okay, so because I don't want a copyright strike, so I wish I could play it now. As soon as we get in the promised land, we're going to be playing all our music. We're going to be playing all our music. Oh my gosh. People are going to hear us too. They're going to hear us. Oh, here they come. Here come the promised land, people. Oh, wait, where's my... Oh, I can't see. Let me see. Kings is the golden. It will lead us to the promised land. Absolutely. Copper. Copper? I can't see that. Okay. Yes. Kings is the golden. It will lead us to the promised land. Fame. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna get out this thing here. We're gonna go ahead and have. I'm gonna go ahead and listen. As soon as they email me, then everybody will know. Oh, they emailed me, and everybody know if they didn't email me. I'm like, you know what? Those son of a bitches. They didn't email me. You would know it. You're going to know it. So as soon as they email me or send me a letter and say, yes, Catherine, here's your keys. And if I have my keys, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm going straight over there. I'll be like, okay, give me the money so I can send my people so they can come. That's how it's going to go down. It's just going to go down like that. Let me see. Okay, so yes, I'm going to get off this thing and I will talk to you guys later. All right. Bye-bye. Okay.